Everyone's excited to find out about this
Yes.
this spying here in our third example. And so for this one, it's another SendGrid talk. And so SendGrid story. So I mentioned that I joined to be able to scale what that DevRel team did out in person at 3 a.m. with content that would live forever on the SendGrid website and still does. But I came from programmable web where I was used to publishing multiple times a day. So naturally, coming to SendGrid, it made sense to publish multiple times a week. So we had a really high bar for a volume of content that I honestly would not recommend in most cases now, especially with a team that is traveling all around the world to be able to produce that content. But we got to do some really cool things. So this is one was hiding text in images. This came out of a demo that Kunal would do out at events, and it naturally turned into a blog post. And so the demos that you do are a great potential for how is that, how can that turn into a blog post, or even potentially more than one, right? Many pieces of content potentially could come out of a demo, which might be sample code and a tutorial in the docs and a blog post like this one that Kunal did. Another one, so this almost 10 years ago, and this is about authenticating without passwords. So in other words, using email. And probably all of us are familiar now with things like magic links from Slack. There are many tools that actually do this now. This was something that that Scott had built code on and ended up writing about. And the reason he wrote about it was that I spied on him. So that's the spy and uncover. So I went to Scott's GitHub and checked out all the stuff that he'd been working on. And so found that and thought, oh, that's interesting. I put that on our calendar, and that would happen often. People would, I would put things on and they would say, whoa, that's not ready for a blog post. And in that case, I would maybe move it, down the line on the content calendar, and we would revisit it. But sometimes, like this one, Scott said, oh, that's awesome. I've been showing that off as a demo. That would be great here. And so in a moment, I will show examples of that, of actually doing that. I'll go into GitHub and we'll do some of that. But I wanted to give the three-pointer here. So you first have to find that developer to spy on. That might be someone on your team. It could be someone who produces a lot of educational content. It could be yourself. So I still think the best DevRel tip, which is not one of my official tips and tricks, so take note here. The best DevRel trick personally is once a month, go into your own GitHub, spy on yourself. What have you done the last month in producing code? There's at least one blog-worthy example in there of what you've been doing the last month. Write that up, publish it, even on your personal blog. A year, you'll have a dozen posts, and you'll be, a developer with 12 posts in the last year. You've got to be in like the 99th percentile of publication. So spy on yourself. But in this case, you might choose what I would do at SendGrid was choose one of the other DevRel team. So look through those GitHub repos, and then it's identifying where is the content potential.